We're back. Um, Talking about younger self while you chew on your vitamins and light your candles. Are they flavored vitamins? Did you get like the kids version where it's like the chewable ones and it tastes like orange or something?
They're my protein. They're strawberry flavor.
We can't get my protein over here.
That's so annoying. You can get it in Australia, I know. That's a pity.
Yeah, you probably can, but it takes about 8 months on the ship. You know what I mean?
Maybe if you ship from Australia, it'd be quick enough, I'd say, no?
Oh, maybe shipping from Aussie, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll cost you, and no, I'm not doing that. Like it'll be
their own, I suppose.
more expensive. I barely take
fair.
protein anyway. I'll just eat a chicken breast.
That's true. Get it from your food first.
Yeah, sack that off. Anyway, my younger self. I see it as a blessing now, though, mate. Because I can relate to. First of all, I can understand myself a lot more. It might be a uncomfortable process to be able to mentally go down those like avenues and try and dissect everything that went down, because you subconsciously shut those doors, right, and you lock them and you chain them up and you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to go back in this thing and figure this out, right? But I coach and I physically coach in front of people, and I love coaching the little fucked up age group of 12 to 19, especially when they've kind of been lumped with like a antisocial behavior order or a juvenile detention, and I love that type of stuff. It's kind of my jam. And I can relate to them. You know, you see it in their eyes, and I was like, my eyes are seeing the same thing as your eyes have seen. You know, and over time you're gonna understand that you're gonna think the same thing. You're gonna be like, oh, these eyes that looking at me have seen the same thing that my eyes have seen. And then you're like, then we've created this. We've taken that glass away, and we're now in the same room. Yeah, I see it as a blessing now. Like growing up as a kid, fucking hated it. Now I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's a good thing.
Absolutely. Like you learn from your childhood and you learn through what you've gone through. Like it's the same with myself. Like coming from a low income family and struggling and not even having like a fiver to go to cinema with my friends and be so like angry about stuff like that has now shaped me into being the most hardworking woman I think I can possibly be. Like hard work is on the top tier of what I value in life. And I think it forever will be. Like I just want to work all the time because working means I have a better life for myself. It means I can give me the stuff that I wasn't able to get as a child, and to nobody's fault at all. It's just where I've come from and stuff. But and then on the flip side, it's just great. Like I even went into university last year and I did a talk, and it was kind of I suppose like sometimes you're ashamed to speak about your past and where you've come from if it's outside of the norm. But again, what is the norm? And it was like the first time I'd kind of opened up about it, like don't come from a struggling background and being where I am. Because as someone, which I find so crazy, but as someone who has a social media following, people look at you as if you're like a superhuman or something. And I'm like, I am a normal person. It's just a number on the screen. So really, really like being vulnerable with people and speaking about my own experience, I think makes people relate with me more. And as humans, when you have that connection and that relatableness, is that even a word? When you're relatable, you're actually quite powerful as a human being. Like you giving a talk to all those young children in the same position that you once were in and being on the other side of it now, it's absolutely invaluable to them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people stand in that position and tell people what to do. And I know if fast forward, like, you know, kind of backtrack, and I'm back in that position and somebody talks to me or tries to coach me and tells me what to do, I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves and go rob the car. You know, like, I'm like, no, that's not going to happen, pal. Like, don't walk into my neighborhood and tell me what to do. Like, you don't know what this fucking shit is like, you know, like, don't try and cast that prejudice on us. And I know that's what people will be thinking. So I'm like, you know, if I'm ever granted that position, I'm like, guys, I'm not here to tell you what to do. In fact, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like this, I think you should have 100% free will. there's going to be consequence, good or bad, right? It's going to put you on a good or a bad path. Like, that's on you, man, but I'm here to just say, hey, listen, you're not the only person going through or has been through or probably will go through the same thing, and people can relate to you. Even if I've got a weird accent, stood on the other side of the world, you know what I mean? Even if I'm literally as white as a piece of paper, like, like there are people that get it, and I think it's important. Like, I came over and I really struggled relating to people because they grew up on farms or with, some expendable income when they can just kind of go to Fiji or whatever. And I'm like, I do not relate to these people at all. And then I started like you're mingling with the Samoa community, the Pacifica community, the Maori community. And I'm like, oh, I relate to you guys. Like, we've had the same childhood. Okay, great. Like, we're like one of the same, you know what I mean? And I think it's really important because human beings are pretty dumb because we just kind of see this shell and be like, no, they're different. I was like, yeah, we can't be any more different. I'm 5'10" on a good day if I didn't squat that morning, and like I said, I ghost for Halloween every year, all I got to do is close my eyes and I'm invisible. And these people are 6'5", obviously Pacific Island people, and you're just like, nah, you don't relate. I'm like, we do. So the boxes that we place ourselves in don't actually exist anymore. They don't have a lid. You got to do stand up and step out of them. And we can actually start relating to one another and hearing people. And I think the eyes are the gateway to someone's soul. I think if you listen and then actually look someone in the eye, you're like, you don't have to say it. Like, I got you. I know what you're gonna say.
I always use that saying, the eyes are the gateway to the soul. It's so weird you said that. I'm pretty sure I said it to one of my friends yesterday. No, it's so true.
You spend any time looking someone in the eyes, they don't need to say anything.
No,
you know what they're gonna say,
100%.
and you know how they feel,
100%.
which is more important, right?
Yeah, sometimes people, like, speaking is powerful, but sometimes people also just need to be heard. That's all. Just
Elaborate.
being there. If, say, there's a troubling topic, for example, we'll say, I'll just take me for example, my childhood or something I've bottled up for so long. When I finally, okay, we won't say my childhood, sorry, my childhood was great. My socioeconomic status growing up as a child. Sometimes, or for something that I've bottled up for so long, I'm so ashamed of, and something I didn't want to speak of, sometimes it's nice to have someone to just listen. Like, I'll just talk. They don't even need to speak back or reply, just to be heard. Like, we just want to be heard. Does that make sense?
Totally.
I don't know where that came from based on what you said, but it's the first thing that popped into my head to say anyway.
No. Just say shit,
Yeah. Just want to be heard and listened to. It's like when you're a child, like if you're a baby and you're crying, something's wrong. Someone needs to listen to you, figure out what's wrong. Sometimes as adults, just having an ear to talk to does the world a good for us. Like, talking is so valuable. Communication, so powerful.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could, even if, for example, if you're doing one of your talks or coaching, there could be, say, 10 lads in the room. Even if one of them took something away from what you said, that is insane. And like, they may not tell you they have, but you have subconsciously impacted them. And there may be a time in the future where they make a decision solely based on maybe having a flashback to when they heard you say something valuable to them that really struck a chord within them.
Yeah, and the way I see it is, I think most problems in the world comes from like a broken boy. I take a lot of the ownership and responsibility onto the male side, and the way I see it is like, how many potential issues can we solve right now without having to make that mistake, right? Because unfortunately, I think ladies are on the receiving end of a lot of bullshit from dudes, which then just kind of spirals and just kind of goes off and causes more destruction for other people. So I'm like,
why do you think that is though?
How do we talk to young boys? Would be my first question. And most of the time in most cultures, I can't say most cultures because there's a hell of a lot of them. I'm going to say Western cultures. Um, we don't, right? We don't talk to them, with them, converse. It's talk at them. You need to do this, and then shut the fuck up. And it's like the kid's not even double digits yet. You know, he's like 9 years old, 7 years old.
So are you saying by learning that, then if it was to come to a female, then that guys would talk at them, that then leads to further destruction in a relationship?
Yes, and I also think the internal dialogue between a man and a man, like in his own head, is very destructive. And we kind of got this barrier. It's like we got all this kind of emotion, right? Which, you know, you're either taught you can't have, two, you got to hide, three, whatever, right? You're taught whatever you're taught. We're just not taught to be able to communicate it in a way that's effective and balanced. And when we do communicate, it comes out super irrational and aggressive, because that's usually the only thing that we know how to do, is be aggressive, right? And then, unfortunately, most of the time, the person on the receiving end of that is a female.
Okay. Yeah, that does make sense. I suppose just from life experiences you've gone through, it's going to shape how you act later on down the line. But with that being said, also there's so much opportunity for change. Change is the only constant in life.
100%.
And knowing that yourself, though, again, self-awareness, going back to that, being aware of that yourself, you can then choose to change. And also it takes a long time to unlearn behaviors that you've learned over years. So I think even in that circumstance, just being patient with yourself and knowing, like, even being aware of the wrongdoings you're still doing, and then the things you're doing right, as well, and knowing that it does take time. But yeah, no, we're all subject to our environment. How our lives were as children impacts how we are now. And even knowing that is such a valuable piece of information. There's like this saying, complete tangent here, but it's like, you don't see life or you don't see people the way they are. You see people the way you are. And it's the same with life. You don't see life as it is, you see life as you are. So it all starts with us. We all gotta do the work on us, and life becomes 1,000,000% better.
I would totally agree with that. You know, the answers are all around. Our eyes just need to be open to see.
Yeah.
And most
And
of the
the
time,
answers,
they're not.
yeah, no, most of the time they're not. We live in such a fast-paced, short-term gratification world nowadays. It's very hard for people to slow down and be present and see these things. Like, people look back to COVID as like one of the worst times ever. I took so much value from COVID. I think it was, of course, yes, it was bad, of course, but the lessons I've learned in COVID and how much it taught people to slow down and appreciate life was invaluable. And it's kind of sad now seeing life get back. Well, life is back to normal now, but 1,000,000 times quicker, because we're coming out of a stage of a period of life where we're used to being so slow. And now it's like back to normal, but 10 times harder because we're not used to it anymore. And people have really, really forgotten to slow down. And until they slow down, they won't see the changes they can make to make their lives better and themselves better as a person.
I've got another question.
Mm.
What does leadership mean to you?
Helping. That's the only word that comes to mind. To help someone. A leader is someone that may have a few more answers than the person following, but if in any way you can help, you're going to be a leader. And it's invaluable, because to help is to care. To care is to love. And it's a top value of being a human being. Digesting that one there, so you are.
I'm blonde, you see. I got to think about things. My brain doesn't work as quick as yours. I'm not had enough caffeine. Well, I don't have a scented candle next to me, you know.
Well, that's where you're going wrong.
No, I would agree. I'd agree on the helping.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, even when it comes to imposter syndrome and say I'm bringing out something and I'm doubting myself and I'm like, oh my God, it's not good enough. It's not this, it's not that. Someone said to me recently, it's like, it doesn't need to be that good. It just needs to be, you just need to give more information. And you just need to know that small bit more than the person below you that's going to be consuming it.
Yeah.
Leadership is to bring people up, and to bring people up, you help.
Yeah. Why do you think you struggle with imposter syndrome?
Um, from where based on where I've come from, so my socioeconomic status, definitely. So coming from a low income family, not having much, like, we're absolutely fine. I had a great childhood, like loving parents, loving family, everything was amazing. But again, like there is only so much you can do with so little and stuff. So now being in a world where, and especially in a world that I have created in terms of like just, I suppose, income, my job, my freedom, the way I live my life, like it's so foreign to where I've come from. Um, so I think anything I do, it's as if I'm just like not meant to be here and I don't know how to be here, if that makes sense.
Mm,
Although I completely deserve everything I have because I've worked for, like, I've built everything from the ground up myself. I don't even have any employees. Like, I run everything myself, which sometimes I feel like can be a bit too much.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, definitely from where I've come from. If I was, I don't even need to think about it. Like, I think it's plain as day to be seen. It's from that.
Yeah. I relate to that real hard. You know,
Mm.
that's something I'll struggle with in a sense of like, these aren't my people, and I guess my question to you to help me, to be honest, um, if no one else, how do you tackle that?
Do you know one thing that actually, well, first thing was becoming aware of it. And I'm so openly say all the time that I have it because I clearly do. But one thing that helped me hugely was support system from friends. My friend, um, my friends are just the most encouraging people ever, and they make me aware and make me think of things I don't think of myself. Like, for example, like last year, I bought myself a new car completely by myself, had, obviously worked, saved up money and stuff. And I was like, cool, got myself a car. Um, and like she was like, no, Amy, like you have gone and you've bought yourself this that would have been expensive for me, like obviously old me. Well, it's still it's still new me. It was expensive as a car, like, but she made me realize and actually be like, can you not just like appreciate, like you need to appreciate this, like this is a big deal. And like even like anything I do business wise, they're just like so proud of me, like this is
Mm,
insane. Um, and I value my friends' opinions hugely. So even them saying it is just, yeah, I think that helps hugely. And another thing is journaling, asking myself the questions. And number two with journaling, writing down my achievements. I didn't, the first time I did that was last year. And I was like, oh, I've done okay. And then I wrote it and like the lists were just, it just kept going. And I was like, oh, okay, I've actually, I've actually done a few things in my life.
yeah.
So yeah, I think writing them down, becoming aware of them helped hugely. Um, and being around the right people. So I try my best to be around people that are better than me, um, so I can grow and become better myself. And even, yeah, being around them makes me realize that okay, it's actually normal to be successful, coming from young Amy that didn't see success in a job because of where I came from. That was a very long answer, sorry.
No, no, no. Don't apologize. I'm not your mom. Say your two pence.
Yeah.
Um, what does success mean to you though?
Freedom. Yeah, to be successful is to be free. To be free is to be calm and at peace. And when you're at calm and at peace, I don't think anything in the world can bother you. Like,
Mm,
financial freedom is success to me because it's something that I've never had. And with financial freedom, I can be a better friend, I can be a better daughter, I can be a better person, I can be a better person to work with. I can have what I need to live, like a house to live in, I can have a car. So yeah, freedom is success to me because it enables me to have all the things I need to be happy in life.
mm. I would agree with that, and I'm very similar. I think opportunity, which is
Success is opportunity.
yeah,
What do you mean by that?
I like I'm a coach, right? And I spend a lot of my time in front of people trying to teach them fitness, right? And uh I think my job and the job of a coach is to take the horse to water, and the job of the horse is to drink. That's it. And sometimes that horse might need to be walked 3 meters, and sometimes I gotta walk 300 miles. But my job is to take that horse to water and being able to provide it with an opportunity to go forward, right? And I really believe that fitness is a catalyst. I think it's like the start. I think it's, again, like humans are not the smartest of individuals, and we sometimes we need to see it. Sometimes we need to feel it straight away. It needs to be right now. I can't think 2 seconds behind and I can't think 2 seconds ahead. I was like, great. You know what can do that? Fitness. Why? Because it sucks. Every day it's shit. I'm sorry, mate. It's not going to be pleasant. And it kind of gives it you right now. It tells you straight, right? That informal, hey, this is shit. And the amount of times I've seen people, benefit physically, health gets a little bit better. They can do more things, can hold a handstand or whatever they can bloody do, right? You're like, fantastic. And then they go out of the gym and it better their lives. And they're like, I'm now journaling. I've improved my relationship with my partner. I quit my job that was making me depressed. I came off antidepressants, stopped drinking to a bottom of oblivion, And I'm just like, wow, that's heavy. And over time, over many years, I've kind of been like, this is kind of a correlation now. They started fitness. It's kind of been the number one thing. And then they went out and bettered themselves, not me. Like I just tell people how to squat a little bit better, right? Sometimes I'm a cheerleader and then I try and write on a whiteboard, which goes horribly wrong every time. I can't, my handwriting's not great. So yeah, I think it's, hey guys, like I think everybody should have an equal opportunity, whether you're broke as fuck, whether you're rich, whether you're different gender, age, whatever. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Like walk through the door, I'll help you. I don't care. And I'm gonna get you to
It's
that
lifestyle medicine.
Oh,
Exercise is lifestyle medicine. And also with exercise, it teaches mental resilience. And if you can be taught mental resilience and you're constantly training yourself in that by actively exercising each week out of habit and routine, of course it's going to go into your day-to-day life as well, because it's a habit. And everything you do in your day-to-day it dictates your life. Habits.
exercise medicine. What do you say? Lifestyle medicine.
Lifestyle medicine. That's what it is.
Wow. That's hit me
I
for
can't
six.
yeah, that's what it's called. Exercise is a form of lifestyle medicine, and it's the most important one in my opinion. Like, exercise is my medicine. It is bettering my physical body. Not that that's the most important. It's actually, sorry, I should have said it's benefiting my mind and my mindset and my mental resilience. It's providing medicine for my mind, and then it's also providing medicine for my body and for my health and everything. So yeah, what it teaches a lot. Like I've grown up playing sports my whole life, and that has taught me so much in terms of strength, resilience, inner talk, teamwork, leadership, like all of that. And obviously exercise in the gym teaches that to some degree as well. And you whatever you learn in these separate things, or in these things that you do daily or weekly, you're going to bring it out into the real world too. So it's so important.
Yeah, I think you learn a lot about yourself in the gym, and I think you face a lot of yourself that you're not really a fan of. You kind of come face to face with yourself, and it's like, right, who's going to come out on top of you? The guy you want to be or the guy that you could be. Essentially, for me, like that's why I like weights. That's why I like Olympic weightlifting. That type of working out is just like, I am the barbell, and that wants to beat me, and I want to beat myself. And who's going to come out on top of you?
Yeah.
And I think, you learn so much. The amount of times I've come out and I've been like fresh headed and I'm like, oh, wow.
But like it positively impacts everything. Like, say for example, like, I don't know, we're going for a barbell squat, PB, that's not just in the gym. You go for that. You go for that outside the gym too. Like you need to fuel yourself with food. And because of that, you're going to eat a small bit better. You're going to fuel yourself a small bit more. Like it's a positive addiction. It's something great to be addicted to, in my opinion. Like you go there, you better yourself, you better your mind, you become more resilient. And it does play a huge role then in how resilient you are in the outside world. I can't even begin to just describe how powerful it is. Exercise, the gym, sport. Like when you're focusing even on a performance-based goal is always top. It's like, how can I push myself? What can I do this week? What can I like change in my day to day that I need to do to get to where I want to be with this performance-based goal? It's important. And then obviously as a result as well, you will get there with your strength, you will get there, but with everything else, but your food improves, your sleep improves, your energy improves. When your stress levels decrease, when all of that happens, you become a better person. You can show up better in the world for yourself and for others. And yeah, your well-being is so much more positively impacted in it by just going and exercising.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would add to it on a sense of from a dude's perspective. I think they need to use like that irrational mindset, because if you lock it up and be like, no, I need to be balanced, I need to contribute to the community, etc., usually, you can only kind of push it to the side for so long, right? And then it kind of comes out into a destructive manner. It's like, no, go into the gym, have a little bit of a fist fight with yourself, better yourself, right? So then you can come out and you can be better for other people, rather than just kind of locking yourself away and you're like, no, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's like, it's reverse psychology. You're going to end up doing it,
Yeah.
So go
the
use
hardest
it.
thing with it, it's just getting started. Like when you can get started and form that habit, and it's just become something that you do, like you're not going to want to do it all the time, but it's part of your routine. You're going to be all the better for it. Like just getting it in as a part of your week, as a part of routine, as a vital part of your life.
Yeah.
Everything else will improve as a result then.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. Ames, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me on. Really, really enjoyed the chat.
I mean, it's going dark, right? So it must be like midday in Ireland.
You're so funny. No, it's 5:45 in the evening.
Motherfucker. Right. Well, no, I appreciate it so much. I'm so pumped that your retreat went well. I can't wait to see what you do next. You're gonna go over to the land of the free and take over. They're not gonna understand what you're saying, but I think it's good.
They'd be like, "Oh, you're Irish. I automatically love you."
They'll be like, "I'm Irish too." You're like, really?
Yeah, my cousin's sister's wife's cousin's brother is related to this person in this country.
I'm like, okay, guys, that's how it works. Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, stuff.
But no, I appreciate it. Thank you, and go kick ass and be a bad motherfucker.
You too, my bro. You got this.
Right.
One scented candle at a time.
That sounds good. I need to get some. What's the is the flavor? No scent? What do you call it?
I actually don't know.
What is it? Vanilla bean or something, like a basic bitch?
I have no idea.
What does it smell like?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's nice.
Oh, that's all you. It's a nice smell. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I do love it now. Anyways, come here. So nice getting to know you as well. Thank you for the chat.
Thank you. All right. Look after yourself and we'll speak soon.
You too.
All right.
See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.